Hey there, and welcome. Today, we are diving deep into a system that's working inside you right now, this very second. It's the body's absolutely incredible delivery system. We're talking about circulation. So how does this whole thing work? Let's get into it.
Really think about that for a second. How does the food you eat, the water you drink, and the oxygen you breathe get from point A to, well, every other point, from your brain all the way down to your little toe? It's a huge question, and the answer is at the very heart of how complex life, like us, can even exist.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, we'll tackle why a delivery system is even necessary. Then we'll see how simple life forms handle it compared to complex ones like us. We'll unveil the ultimate transport network, feel the rhythm of life itself, check out a doctor's brilliant invention, and finally, get a proper introduction to the engine behind it all, the heart. Okay, so let's start with the absolute basics. Why is moving stuff around inside a living thing so important? Well, it all comes down to one thing. You're made of cells, trillions of them. And trust me, those cells are needy. Every single one of your cells is like a tiny, bustling city. It needs a constant supply of fuel, nutrients and oxygen, and of course water to keep things running. But just like any city, it also creates trash, and that waste has to be taken out. Without a super efficient delivery and garbage collection service, the whole system would just shut down. Now, not all living things solve this delivery problem in the same way. It really depends on how big and how complicated they are. So let's compare the little guys, the single-celled organisms, with massive, complex creatures like us. You see, for a tiny organism like an amoeba, which is literally just one cell, life's pretty simple. Goodies can just soak in from the outside using a process called diffusion. It's slow, sure, but it works because it doesn't have far to go. But for us, with trillions of cells, relying on diffusion would be like trying to deliver packages to an entire country using just one mail carrier on a bicycle. It's just impossible. So what makes it so impossible? Why can't we just soak up everything we need like a sponge? Well, the answer boils down to a single crucial resource: time. And here's the mind-blowing part. For oxygen to get from your lungs to your big toe just by diffusion, it would literally take years. Years. Clearly, as life got bigger, it needed to upgrade from a slow, winding country road to a high-speed superhighway. Evolution needed a much, much better plan. And that better plan, that incredible evolutionary masterpiece, is the circulatory system. It is the body's very own dedicated, high-speed delivery network, perfectly engineered to solve the problem of distance and time. So, if you're taking notes or prepping for an exam, this is the big one. The circulatory system is that specialized network that moves all the essentials, nutrients, gases, and wastes, super quickly and efficiently to every last part of the body. And what's so cool about this system is that you don't just have to take my word for it. You can actually feel it working right now. We're talking about your heartbeat and your pulse. They're the living, beating proof of this amazing network humming away inside you. You know that steady throb you can feel in your wrist or on the side of your neck? That's your pulse. And every single one of those little pushes is a direct result of one powerful squeeze from your heart, sending a wave of blood rushing through your arteries. In fact, let's do a quick experiment right now. Go ahead and place your first two fingers on your wrist, right below the base of your thumb. Feel that? Okay, count how many beats you feel in 1 full minute. Got your number? Now I want you to get up and jog in place for a minute. Then measure it again. I bet you're going to notice a big difference. So what happened? Why did it speed up? It's pretty straightforward. When you exercise, your muscles are working harder, so they're screaming for more oxygen. To get it to them, your heart has to pump faster, which makes your pulse speed up. Your circulatory system is basically kicking into overdrive to make those deliveries on time. And this pulse rate changes a lot. As you can see here, a newborn baby's heart flutters away way faster than an adult's. On the other end, a highly trained athlete's heart is so strong and efficient it might only beat 40 times a minute when they're resting. And it's not just about age or fitness. Even being excited or scared can make your heart race. Being able to listen to a heartbeat is one of the most important things a doctor can do. But way back in the early 1800s, it was surprisingly difficult. And that brings us to this really cool story of simple, brilliant innovation. So get this. In 1816, a French doctor named René Laennec was having trouble hearing a patient's heartbeat clearly just by putting his ear to their chest. So he had a flash of inspiration. He rolled up a sheet of paper into a tube,
put one end on the patient and the other to his ear. Wow! The sound was perfectly clear and amplified. That simple idea led directly to the invention of the stethoscope, a tool that's still essential today.
We've been talking all around it, but now it's time to properly introduce the absolute star of the show, the central pump that powers this entire incredible network. It's time to talk about the heart.
Your heart is just an amazing piece of biological machinery. It's nestled safely right between your lungs, with your ribcage acting like its own personal bodyguard. And its size? Just make a fist. That's about how big your heart is. And from that small package, it generates enough force to pump blood everywhere in your body, every second of every day for your entire life without a single break.
All right, let's quickly lock in the key takeaways, especially if you've got an exam coming up. First, what is pulse? It's that rhythmic push in your arteries from the heart pumping. Why do we need circulation? To deliver the goods to trillions of cells that diffusion is way too slow for. The big difference in transport? Simple organisms use diffusion, complex ones need a circulatory system. And the link between heartbeat and pulse? They're one and the same. One beat of the heart creates one pulse speed.
And that's where we'll wrap up part 1. So the next time you feel your own pulse, just take a moment and think about what it really is. It's the rhythm of a tireless engine, working day and night to deliver life to every single cell that makes you, you. Thanks for joining me.